Guys, while I was doing some research for a video I was planning to do for my new series, I found out something quite staggering this morning. Eminem is Scottish. Hello guys, welcome to my brand new series here on YouTube, Scottish Stories. I have been thinking about doing this series for quite a very long time because of a number of reasons. First of all, I'm Scottish and I've got a lot to talk about. I love Scotland and I think it is so great to see lots of people from around the world here on YouTube wanting to know more about Scotland. There's not enough information out there. Topics covered on this series will be wide and vast and will be open to you guys as well, so any suggestions you have for the series, please do let me know. And of course, as a very crude background, I sellotaped a Scottish flag to my wall. Looks alright though, doesn't it? And another reason I'm getting into this series as well is because I took a trip to America recently. I was on a trip with the US Embassy in London, and it was a trip called Exploring American Values. And one of the biggest things I took away from that trip was the fact that so many Americans that I met when I was over there had Scottish ancestry and Scottish roots. So many people were interested in the fact that I was Scottish and wanting to know more about me and where I came from, so that they could kind of patch together their history with me in some weird connection. I didn't realise that so many Americans have Scottish cultural heritage, roots, family ties. It is amazing to hear that. So through this series I want to talk more about this culture and hopefully we can tie some loose ends together. So to the subject matter, as I say, I was doing some exploration on Scottish and American ties and I came across something purely by accident which piqued my interest. The fact that Eminem, the legendary rapper from America, is actually Scottish. He will forever be a legend in my heart because of how I grew up. When I was a teenager in Scotland, growing up in quite a rough neighbourhood, he was the first person I really looked up to as an artist and thought, wow, this guy is intelligent, smart, genius, and he gets us. And I just absolutely loved him. I'm not kidding you. Did that flag just fall? I did tape it up. He was a hero to me and he was a hero to a lot of the kids where I grew up as well. We knew every single lyric to every single one of his songs. And it doesn't matter what he does in the future. He might never produce another record. He might never do any good music again. And indeed, a lot of his last pieces haven't been that great in a lot of critics' opinion, and myself included, you know. I liked his early stuff, but it doesn't even matter because the stuff he put out in the beginning was just so good, he will forever be a legend. I was an obsessive fan when I was a teenager of Eminem. I'm not even kidding you. I shaved my head, and when my hair grew back just enough, I dyed it with peroxide bleach blonde to look exactly like Eminem. Would the real Slim Shady please stand up? I really wish I could find the photographs because there exists a photograph somewhere of me with that dyed blonde peroxide Eminem hair. But I do have some photos from my youth, and I know that I look considerably more handsome right now. I once looked like this, and a lot of people did make the comparison at the time that I look like Eminem. Quite interesting fact, considering what I'm about to tell you. As soon as I found this little snippet of information that Eminem was Scottish, or had Scottish ancestry at very least, I had to dig into it further and find out more. I cannot take any of the credit for this information and research. This is all stuff I'd found out thanks to some other people who have done the groundwork years ago actually. There is a film company from the north of Scotland called Move On Up, and they made a film called Eminem's Celtic Connections. And the story surrounding that film release, which made it into a lot of national newspapers at the time, is what I am now looking at. Now obviously Eminem is from Detroit in America, and if you look back through his generations of people in his family line, it gets really interesting. But the first thing that actually should be a giant giveaway before anything else is the fact that his name is Marshall Mathers. Mathers, the second name, actually comes directly from Scotland. A lot of people in North America can obviously trace their roots back to Scotland, and it's through their surnames. You look through America and you just see the amount of surnames that are derived from Scotland. So on Eminem's father's side, there is a man called Peter Mathers. He was from Pennsylvania. He married a Scottish woman. And then you have Ailsa McAllister. She was born in 1847 in Edinburgh, my hometown, my home city, and she was in that direct line of descendants from Eminem as well. 1847 is a long way back, don't get me wrong. Perhaps there is some kind of logic in the fact that maybe, just maybe, we have some kind of similar bloodline. He had relatives from Edinburgh in 1847. I mean, that certainly whittles it down from the billions of people that exist on Earth to actually being from the same city. What that Celtic Connections film did was discover that on both his mother and father's side, he has Scottish roots through his family. Even though that might be from the 1800s, that is probably the same as most Americans. Most Americans who have got Scottish background, Scottish history, Scottish roots, trace their roots quite far back. It's not a recent thing. The Scots immigrated to America in the 1800s largely. And unfortunately, I cannot find that movie online anywhere. I would love to watch it. If anybody can find a link or anything like that, please do let me know, because I'd love to see it and find out more about that. But that's so fascinating. The programme went as far as to get a family tree for Eminem and trace it back. And that brings me to the next Scottish Edinburgh connection. Storytellers in all different forms are fascinating to me. And of course, in Scotland, we have a lot of famous storytellers. Rabbie Burns, you know Rabbie Burns. Rabbie Burns was a world famous poet. He was a genius with his words. Now, if Rabbie Burns was alive today, I dare say he would be the modern day Eminem. There's a definite connection between the likes of Rabbie Burns, a famous Scottish poet who shaped poetry around the world and really put the Scottish language on the worldwide map as something to be respected and cherished. And then Eminem, who basically brings modern day language and does incredible and genius things with it. Storytellers through poetry, rap, who did amazing genius things with the languages of their time. And language like that is so powerful. It will travel through the ages. But I'd love to know what you guys think about that. That is just fascinating. I'd love to know more about your Scottish roots, if you have any. I know there's a lot of people here watching who do have Scottish family, Scottish relatives, Scottish backgrounds. When did your relatives emigrate? Do you know your Scottish family roots? Let me know. I'm really fascinated by it all. And it's going to make up a big part of this Scottish Stories series that I'm running on my YouTube channel. I would love your participation. So please join in the conversation. That was the first episode. Thank you very much for joining in. Have a good day. I'll speak to you again really soon with another episode and some more daily vlogs from here in Brazil. They're coming up sharp.